MD-450 Ouragan, France's first production jet fighter, born from the ruins of occupation in 1949. It featured a British Nene engine and nose air intake, proving France could build competitive jets without licenses. Despite its simplicity, India and Israel bought dozens. The Hurricane had arrived, but Dassault was already chasing something faster. Mirage II, the sound barrier hunter. It featured swept wings at 30 degrees, allowing controlled supersonic dives for the first time in French history. Despite being an interim design, it proved the future belonged to swept-wing jets. The Americans were watching. Mirage IV, the export weapon. It featured a refined wing and reinforced fuselage, earning U.S. offshore funding during the Cold War. Despite French political restrictions, Israeli pilots flew it into combat during Suez and the Six-Day War. Blood validated the design, but swept wings had a ceiling. Super Mirage B2, Europe's first supersonic fighter in level flight. It featured a 45-degree swept wing with afterburning Atar engine, reaching Mach 1.1 without diving. Despite its achievement, Dassault knew swept wings couldn't reach Mach 2. The Delta Wing revolution was coming. Mirage III, the Cold War legend. It featured a pure Delta Wing with optional rocket boosters, allowing sustained Mach 2 flight at 60,000 feet. Despite Soviet MiGs outnumbering them 10-1, Israeli Mirage IIIs shredded Egyptian formations in 1967. 12 nations ordered it. Over 1,400 built. This single fighter made France an aerospace superpower, but France needed more than interceptors. Mirage IV, the nuclear deterrent. Twin Atar engines in a massive delta, twice the size of the Mirage III. It featured Mach 2 performance with strategic range, allowing France to deliver nuclear weapons independently. Despite de Gaulle's withdrawal from NATO, France could now strike Moscow. Sovereignty delivered at 200 miles per hour. Mirage V, the simplified killer. It featured increased fuel capacity by stripping complex avionics, allowing cheaper ground attack missions in clear weather. Despite a French embargo to Israel, it became a global export phenomenon. Simple worked. Mirage F1, the conventional rebel. Dassault broke their own Delta doctrine. It featured a swept wing with conventional tail, allowing shorter runways and better dogfight performance. Despite abandoning the Delta, it replaced the Mirage III as France's primary interceptor. Iran and Iraq bought hundreds. They fought each other with the same jet, but Dassault wasn't done with Deltas. Mirage 2000, the digital resurrection. It featured a Delta wing controlled by fly-by-wire computers, solving every low-speed problem that plagued earlier Deltas. Despite being designed in the 1970s, relaxed stability gave it dogfight agility that shocked American test pilots. The Delta wasn't obsolete. It was evolving. Mirage 4000, the superfighter that never was. Twin engines, carbon fiber, fly-by-wire. It featured performance matching the F-15 Eagle, developed entirely with private funding. Despite French budgets refusing it, every lesson learned fed directly into what came next. The ultimate Dassault fighter. Rafale, the omnirole endpoint. It features twin engines, canards, and digital flight controls, allowing air-to-air, air-to-ground, and reconnaissance in a single sortie. Despite replacing 7 different aircraft types, it struggled for exports initially. Then Egypt bought it. India bought 36, then 26 more. Qatar, Greece, Croatia, Indonesia. Despite decades of American dominance, nations are choosing French. The Rafale is proving omnirole works. Now shift to the carrier strike lineage, Étendard Quarter, the naval workhorse. It featured swept wings optimized for carrier landings, allowing French carrier battle groups to project power globally. Despite being subsonic, it served for 2 decades. But subsonic couldn't sink modern warships. Super Étendard, the Exocet platform. It featured updated radar and anti-ship missile capability, allowing precision naval strikes from carrier decks. Despite its age, Argentine Super Etendards fired Exocets at British destroyers during the Falklands War. HMS Sheffield sank. HMS Glamorgan nearly followed. 5 French jets changed a war 8,000 miles from Paris. Then Dassault tried something insane. Balzac 5, the vertical fighter experiment. It featured 8 lift engines crammed into a modified Mirage III, allowing vertical takeoff to survive nuclear strikes on runways. Despite 2 fatal crashes, it proved hover control was possible, but it wasn't practical. Mirage III, 5, the only VTOL aircraft to exceed Mach 2 in history. It featured both lift and cruise engines, allowing vertical takeoff and supersonic dash. Despite achieving Mach 2.04, the dead weight of lift engines killed range and payload. NATO wanted it. Physics refused it. Mirage G, the swing wing experiment. It featured variable geometry wings sweeping from 23 to 70 degrees, allowing Mach 2.34 at full sweep. Despite matching American swing wing performance, mechanical complexity killed the program. France chose simplicity, but while fighters grabbed headlines, Dassault built a second empire, Falcon 20, the business jet that changed everything. It featured twin engines and fighter-derived engineering, catching Charles Lindbergh's attention in 1963. Despite being a gamble, Pan Am ordered dozens. Dassault now had stable civil income funding military R&D. The strategy was bulletproof. Falcon 10, the hot rod. Highly swept wing, compact fuselage. It featured speed exceeding larger jets, allowing corporate executives to outrun airliners. Despite its size, it handled turbulence like a fighter. Falcon 50, the transatlantic breakthrough. It featured 3 engines and supercritical wing, allowing the first business jet to cross the Atlantic while using short runways. Despite tri-J complexity, safety redundancy sold. Heads of state bought them. Falcon 900, the wide-body tri-J. It featured intercontinental range with fighter jet handling, evolving through EX and LX variants. Despite the industry shifting to twins, Dassault kept 3 engines. Reliability over trends. Falcon 2000, the efficient twin. It featured wide-body comfort without the third engine, allowing lower operating costs. Despite breaking tradition, it proved commercially successful. Dassault could adapt. Falcon 7X, the revolution. First business jet with fly-by-wire controls. It featured technology transferred directly from Rafale fighter development, allowing unprecedented efficiency and handling. Despite being a business jet, it flew like a combat aircraft. Because it was designed by combat aircraft engineers. Falcon 8X, the Range King. Extended fuel capacity in a tri-J configuration. It featured ultra-long-range capability from short runways, remaining Dassault's flagship. Despite twin-engine dominance, 3 engines still deliver. Falcon 6X, the cabin champion. It features the widest Falcon fuselage ever, born from the cancelled 5X program. Despite development delays, it launched in 2021 with Pratt & Whitney engines. Maximum width, maximum comfort. Falcon 10X. The future. It features Rafale-derived technologies targeting the Bombardier Global 7500, expected around 2026. Despite still being in development, it represents Dassault's bet that fighter tech will keep winning in business aviation. One bizarre detour deserves mention. Mercure 100, Dassault's airliner gamble. It featured advanced high-lift devices and superior speed to the Boeing 737, but optimized for short French domestic routes. Despite aerodynamic brilliance, limited range killed it. Only 12 built, all for Air Inter. Engineering excellence doesn't guarantee market success. Dassault learned. They never built another airliner. Now the final category, the unmanned future. Aviation Petit Duc, Europe's first stealth UAV in 2000. It featured autonomous flight and reduced radar signature, validating concepts nobody else in Europe was testing. Despite being small, it pioneered the path. nEUROn, the stealth combat drone. It features full stealth shaping and autonomous strike capability. testing systems for the future combat air system. Despite being a demonstrator, it proves Dassault is ready for AI-controlled warfare.